Hello everybody, welcome to Brands Hatch, and it's almost time for the first qualifying session of the season for the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. Now to help me talk through the action is a driver himself, a man who knows this circuit like the back of his hand. It is Charles Boniface. I should say like the back of your face, Charles Boniface. How are you?
I'm good, thanks Ian, how are you?
That was a terrible lead in, wasn't it? It was
back of my hand, oh that's changed, that's new.
Yeah, there you go.
that's how well I know
the
it.
hairy hand. Right, we are here at Brands Hatch MG Cup. It's about a third or fourth season with the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. I am absolutely delighted. Qualifying about to get underway, 15-minute session. The cars are in the assembly area at the minute. Let's just go have a look, but let's pop the camera over there. Can you see that Montego over there? Oh my word, the estate. That is going to be something quite special. The MG Montego, raced by Alan Forster here this weekend, is going to be a real fan favourite, but there's a lot more to come as well. It's a big grid for the MG Cup. In fact, let's have a quick look at the driver list for this weekend. We've got a little graphic we can show you. Let's pop that on screen, and let me just run through some of the classes for you as well, who is racing. Number 116, Class B is G Boggs. Then also in Class B, well, the first 10 or so are Class B. Ian Bolton, who we know very well. Ian Dowler's back. Stuart Emmett's here. Alan Forster in that MG Montego. Terry Gaskin, Andrew Herring, Dan Ludlow, Dennis Robinson, Carl Robinson, Richard Sargent, G Warner. We've got some Class C cars as well. Craig Baston is here. We are broadcasting to your Facebook page as well, Craig. Chris Bolton, Peter Birchall, more on him in a minute. Lance Ellington, oh my word, in the yellow 220 Turbo Tomcat. Oh, wait till you see this as well. Then we've got Simon Lowry. Steve McDermott has made it as well. Weren't sure whether he was going to be able to get the car sorted, but he has. He is racing here this weekend. Ashley Woodward's here. Peter Bramble in the MGB Roadster in the invitation class. Look out for him. And Leon Wignall in the MG ZR160 invitation. The Pink Panther, we're calling it. You'll see why when it takes to the track. I can assure you of that one. Now, back to Peter Birchall. Now, a year ago, he suffered a stroke. You won't mind me saying, I did a show with him the other day, the pre-season show for the MG Cup. Didn't do any racing at all last season. He was trackside. He's been through the ringer over the last 12 months, but I'm delighted to say he is back, Charles, and what a year it's been, and what a feel-good story that is to have Peter Birchall back on the track after suffering a stroke.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's nothing worse for a racing driver when, you know, health issues or anything gets in the way of you being able to go racing, and for him to be able to make his way back into a car in well, I know a year is going to feel like a long time to him, but in such a short period of time is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, so brilliant to have him back on the grid.
Yeah, it certainly is. I spoke to him extensively. I called up with him this morning as well, and he's very. He's saying, look, I'm just happy to be back. You know, if I'm trundling around the back, I'm trundling around the back. I could say I know Peter very well. As soon as those lights go out, it's going to be the old Peter's back, I think. It's what happens, isn't it? You go into a race meeting and you just say, I'm just going to go enjoy, I'm just going to take it casual, I'm going to take it easy. Then the red mist comes over, right, Charles?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, not so much necessarily red mist in anger, but in just, as a racing driver, you always want to push the limits and have fun, and you find that fun right at the very edge. So, you know, as much as he said, oh, I'll take it easy, he'll probably do that for a lap and a half and think, oh, I'm having too much fun. Let's just keep pushing on. But
well, you can see the cars coming down. Sorry to interrupt, but there is Peter Birchall in the black and silver car just running down now. Behind him is Peter Bramble in that MGB Roadster. There's Lance Ellington in that 220 Turbo. And there is Leon Wignall in the Pink Panther as well. What a quartet that is going out onto the track. It is time for the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup qualifying session. Just reminder, we've been covering the MG Cup for the last few years, but those of you who haven't come into contact with the MG Cup before and want to find out more, there is a link in the body of this broadcast. It will take you straight through to the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup website. But if you are watching right now, hello and welcome. Please do comment below. Wherever you're watching, we can see your comments. Now, Leon, if you just put the camera up round Druids, I think that's Steve McDermott just coming down the orange and black car. There's an awful lot of smoke pouring out the back. I think it's McDermott. If I'm wrong, I apologise. Let me just have a look. I just saw it going up the hill into Druids. There was an awful lot of smoke coming out the back of that car. There still is as well. It's not, it's car number 468. That's Richard Sargent, so apologies Steve McDermott there, but Richard Sargent's car's got a lot of smoke coming out the back of it at the minute, so let's hope it's nothing more than just burning a bit of excess fuel or oil off, and there's nothing to worry about there. Let's see, will he come into the pits or will he go around again and continue? It's Peter Birchall just behind him there as well, so 15-minute qualifying session. Sargent stays out, it looks like, so it might have just been a bit of excess fluid or something burning off, Charles?
Yeah, it could just be something dripping onto the exhaust that was tied over or been dripping or something else, but nothing clearly too serious, otherwise he'd have probably pulled in or been on fire by now. So
yes, well, we've already seen one car on fire this morning with the equipped qualifying. In fact, qualifying started at 9 o'clock, 30 seconds later it was red flag due to a fire. I'm pleased to say driver absolutely fine, no concerns there. The engine, however, might not be in such good nick.
Yeah, it was tricky to see, but we weren't sure if it was a water issue or whether it was a fire issue. But either way, like you said, the driver's okay. Car is mostly in one piece, so hopefully it should be good for the racing later on.
Absolutely. So we are underway for qualifying, the first qualifying session of the year. Now you're going to see that Montego very quickly. The estate, the blue, the two-tone blue and white Montego going up the hill towards Druid. I think Leon has found it. Fantastic stuff he has. Let's just follow that, by the way. Alan Forster in that particular car. Now my understanding though, I was chatting to Peter about this the other day, he's going to start from the pit lane though, so he still has to go out and qualify, doesn't he, to put 3 laps in. My understanding is that because it's difficult to find parts for that car, he's just going to take it easy and start the races from the pit lane, which might be a sensible idea, but just look at that. This is the very best of club racing, isn't it? Where else would you find a car like that, Charles?
I actually don't know, to be honest, Ian. Probably in someone's shed maybe, or in a museum, something like that. But yeah, it's fantastic to see it out here. It's such a lovely car. We've had someone go off.
Yeah, yellow flags
over
up there.
by Club, Clark even, but yeah. They're back on safely and coming on round, and luckily didn't T-bone into the lovely Montero that we're looking at.
No, there's Craig Basin just going through behind as well. So yeah, qualifying well underway. As I was saying before, please do comment below. We can see your comments. Live Sport Now on YouTube is the best place to comment. Wherever you're watching, do comment. We can see them, but the best place is Live Sport Now on YouTube. If you comment there, we can show your comment on screen as well. So show some love for these drivers, show a bit of support. Tell us, where are you watching from today? We are broadcasting all over the world with various MG car clubs over in Australia, Argentina, you name it, all over the world. So please do get in contact with us. We're chilly up here, it's freezing cold, so keep us warm.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of warm, you can see a dry line starting to emerge coming through Graham. We've got a very slow person coming on the exit of
Someone's
Paddock.
got a bit out of shape going down Paddock Hill, and they've managed to get back on though.
Yeah, that's
all good.
That's a good thing. No cars off as of yet. Don't want to be jinxing that though, do we, Ian? And yeah, dry line started to emerge in here. It was a lot greasier than that earlier on, so these guys should be running pretty close to dry times by now. And of course a nice little level playing field for the entire field this year, Ian, with them going to Toyo tyres. So everyone on the exact same compound, and yeah, just going for it.
Yeah, it's a nice change actually, isn't it? And it's something we touched on the other day in our pre-season show with Peter Birchall about the tyres, just maybe pulling everybody a little bit closer as well. Times as well, at the minute, Steve McDermott is the man on provisional pole. The car number 77, a 107.572 so far, getting the job done. Lance Ellington in that 220 turbo, the yellow one, number 69, a 107.928, so 0.356 the gap between the top two. Then we've got Ian Bolton, then Woodward, Ludlow, Carl Robinson, Dennis Robinson, Bolton, Lowry, Dowler, Emmett, Wignall, Baston, Bramble, Heron, Warner, Birchall, Sargent, Forster, Gaskin and Boggs. 21 runners and riders here for the Cherish Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. As I said before, it's a good, solid grid, isn't it? 21 cars, just what you need.
Got 3 abreast coming down the main straight there, all overtaking each other for track position. Clearly looking for some space out there. There's a couple of little gaggles of cars where you've got 3 or 5 or things like that.
That's Wignall in the pink car, Carl Robinson there, Peter Birchall and Bramble again in that quartet. Peter Birchall, as he said before, is just taking things easy, but he's doing all right, down in 17th at the minute, a 1:15.988. He's going to grow and grow and grow in confidence as this weekend continues.
Yeah, exactly, and it's part and parcel of having multi-class racing or multi-class qualifying as we are at the moment, is that you will find slower cars and quicker cars catching each other at different rates. So you'll have different braking zones as far as how much they need to brake through a corner. You'll have different accelerations, different speeds carrying into and through corners, and of course that's not just down to drivers but also down to the class system and the cars themselves. So it'd be very interesting when you're out there to try and find yourself some space and really get in a good lap.
Yeah, absolutely. So coming up today, of course, this is qualifying right now. We've got just over 8 minutes left on the clock, so there's still quite a way to go. Not even halfway through, so plenty of track action now. We've got race 1 to bring you after lunch, and then our exclusive behind-the-scenes paddock walk as well. A camera, microphone, no script. People, what could possibly go wrong? Well, quite a lot actually. We just saw a car actually going sideways at the top round there, but managing to hold it on. It looks very greasy up there, doesn't it?
In the pit lane. We've got one coming into pit lane, Ian. I can't quite tell who it is from here, but I'm sure we'll soon see them come down the pit lane.
Yeah, we do have somebody going very, very slowly in pit entry, don't we, at the minute? So Steve McDermott's still the man on provisional pole, though, Class C and outright, 104.424, getting the job done. Lance Ellington still in second place at 104.892, his best, 0.468 of a second behind. Still no sign of who's in the pits. It's Ian 74, which is Ian Bolton. They've got his name wrong on TSL. Ian Bolton is in third place for 105.813. Ludlow's in fourth, and Dennis Robinson is fifth. Woodward is sixth. Bolton is in seventh. That's Chris Bolton in 7th. Emmett is in 8th. Dowler in 9th. Sargent in 10th. Carl Robinson is in 11th. Larry in 12th. Wignall in 13th. Brambles 14th. Herons 15th. Baston 16th. Boggs is 17th. Birchall 18th. Forster 19th. Warner 20th. And Gaskin is 21st at the minute. Still no idea who pulled into the pits. Somebody else is coming into the pits as well now. And I think it might have been number 55, Warner, has stopped close to pit entry, I think. So it looks like we've lost Warner from this qualifying session. McDermott, Steve McDermott, the man on provisional pole, is in the pits as well. So McDermott is in the pits, still 6 minutes on the clock. I wonder, might just be a quick tyre pressure change, just make sure everything's all right, maybe cool the car down a little bit before heading back out. Steve McDermott weren't sure that he was actually going to be able to make it here. Quickly managed to get the car together. He is here, so I wonder if he's just maybe going to relax the car a little bit. A couple of the races coming up over the course of this weekend in the Cherry Vehicle Insurance MG Cup as well.
Yeah, it could be that, like you said, Ian. It could be tyre pressures as well. He's done his 3 laps, so regardless, as long as that car's good to go and he's good to go, he will be able to race later on, which is the main thing. So, yeah, hopefully we'll see him back out in this session though, and trying to keep that pole spot.
Well, he might do, but I'll tell you something, he's not now, because Lance Ellington has just put it on provisional pole in that yellow Tomcat. I wonder if we can follow him round. He's just going down Paddock Hill in the yellow car now, just behind, I think it's Dennis Robinson in the blue car. There he is, Ellington. It's a beautiful machine, isn't it? He's now on provisional pole, the first driver to do a sub 104. He's done a 103.628, and at the minute with McDermott in the pits, that was 0.796 of a second faster than McDermott, who's in second place. So Ellington, currently the man on pole position and back in the MG Cup after quite some time away.
Yeah, he's clearly finding some grip out there in that turbo car. Sometimes in these sorts of conditions it can be hard to actually put the power down, Ian, but he's clearly found the grip to put it all down, and he's using it to his full advantage.
We know those 220 turbos have got some serious power behind them. I was wondering how they might fare around the Indy circuit anyway, perhaps better suited for somewhere like Silverstone, but Lance Ellington, no. He's saying, this is a great car around here, power down, and at the minute, on pole, Ian Bolton though, goes second now just 0.111 of a second behind Ellington. So it's Ellington, Bolton in second, McDermott in third, Dowler in fourth, Ludlow in fifth, Woodward in sixth, Carl Robinson in seventh, Emmett in eighth, Dennis Robinson in ninth, Chris Bolton in 10th, Baston is 11th, Lowry is 12th, Sargent's 13th, Brambles 14th, Birchall's 15th, Wignall 16th, Heron 17th, Forster in that MG Montego is 18th, Boggs is 19th, Warner's 20th, but out of qualifying, and Gaskin is 21st. McDermott's still in the pits. I think he might just be resting his car a little bit.
Yeah, and Ellington backing off as well there in that lap. He finally found himself some space, and he seemed to go through paddock okay, but now he's backing out of it. So hopefully it's just a cooling thing, keeping the car in one piece, feeling like he's done enough maybe, but
well, I don't know about
we'll
that.
soon see.
Less than a second, 0.9 of a second separates the top four. That is all. The gap between first and second is just 0.1 of a second. That is it. So I think Ian Bolton, if he knows this,
we've got.
Oh, and Robinson is beached in the gravel. That's 444. Carl Robinson beached in the gravel right in front of us. I wonder if that is going to bring out the safety car, because if he's gone in there, then it could be quite easy for somebody else to go in there as well.
If it's not safety car, Ian, they'll probably end the session on a red flag with only 2 minutes or so to go. They got to pull that car out the gravel, which will mean they'll have to put recovery and stuff on the circuit.
It is red flag as well, so red flag for the session. And you just saw actually Dennis Robinson gave him a flash. Obviously family there, just make sure he's okay. I mean, he didn't hit a wall or anything. I think it's looking like he's gone in sideways into the gravel trap. Yeah,
it just seems to have lost it coming out of Graham's and slid sideways in. And once you're buried in that, it's very hard to get out of it.
Yeah, there's only 2 minutes 46 seconds left on the clock, so I would imagine they'll probably call the session, Charles. So we'll wait for confirmation of that at the minute, but the car's going around very slow, still going around. Everybody else is pulling into the pits, as they must do. If it does stay like this, Lance Ellington is on pole position. He is Class C. Ian Bolton is second place, but he's actually on pole in Class B. McDermott in third. Dowler is fourth. As we can see down there, Carl Robinson we're looking at, he's actually had a pretty good qualifying session. He's in fifth place at 105.146, so I don't think he'll be too disappointed with that. There'll be no damage to the car, so fifth place, not a bad position to
be. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he'll enjoy picking out every stone and pebble that's currently sat in that car, but after he's done that, I'm sure he'll look at the results and think, actually, that's not too bad.
Well, he's got a bit of a gap now. The race, the first MG Cup race, not until, and it's the second race after lunch, so he's got a couple of hours to get the shovel out, I think, so I think he'll be quite happy with that. I'm just looking where the MG Cup cars are going. Are they pulling back into the garages? I think they are. I don't think they're going to line up. Let's just pop TSL up onto the screen whilst we work out what's going on, so it looks like you can see how things we think are finished. It has finished. Checkered flag is now out, so that is qualifying. Qualifying is over. Let's pop TSL on the screen, and just so you can see how the classifieds have finished. Ellington on pole, Bolton in second, McDermott in third, Dowler is fourth, Carl Robinson in fifth. At the minute, he's been towed out of that deep gravel trap at the exit of Graham Hill Bend. Woodward is in sixth, Ludlow is seventh, Emmett is eighth, Dennis Robinson is ninth, Chris Bolton is 10th, Baston is 11th, Lowry is 12th, Sargent 13th, Bramble 14th in that beautiful MGB Roadster, Forster in the MG Montego. That's a pretty good qualifying session, isn't it, considering he was just taking it easy, really. 15th. Peter Birchall as well, special mention to him, of course. He's back after a year out on the sidelines due to health issues. He's back, qualified in 16th place. Wignall is 17th in the invitation class in the Pink Panther, I'm calling it. Heron is 18th, Boggs is 19th, Warner's 20th, and Gaskin 21st. There we go. That is your qualifying session over for the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. Get the shovels out, because it looks like Carl Robinson is going to have a bit of work to do here.
Exactly. Marshall's doing a fantastic job there. Obviously, massive thank you, as always, to all of the marshals and everything that come out, volunteer their time, and do an absolutely amazing job. They always deserve the praise that they get, and always more as well. So, and obviously, if you're watching this thinking, do you know what, I'd quite like to come to a race meeting, but I don't fancy doing the driving in circles bit, you can always come along and volunteer as a marshal. All information for that can be found on the Motorsport UK website. And if you're interested in becoming a marshal, go on there, and I'm sure all of that information will be found for you.
Right, absolutely, very well said, Charles. That is it for qualifier for the Cherish Vehicle Insurance AMG Cup. Don't worry, you will be hearing from the drivers ahead of their opening race. That's after lunch. It's the second race after lunch. We'll be bringing you that live, but we'll start the broadcast in assembly area. Charles, thanks so much for joining us for that. Thank you for watching as well. Next coming up, I almost fell down the side. Coming up next for us will be the MG Trophy Race 1, but we've got about an hour or so before that. Don't forget, if you do want to find out more about the MG Cup, there is a link in the body of this broadcast that takes you straight through to the website, or get your phone out because we can pop the QR code up on screen, give it a scan, it will take you straight through. We've got cheers going down there for Peter Birchall. How nice is that? His family are here as well. They've just been giving him a big cheer. His first qualifying session in over a year. Congratulations to Peter Birchall. And don't forget to make sure you don't miss any of the action over the course of this weekend of the MG Cup, the MG Trophy, and tomorrow the BCV8 Championship as well. Hit subscribe over at Live Sport now. There is a link in the body of this broadcast where it says watch Race 1 live. Click that link, hit subscribe. You won't miss any of the action. Time for us to go get ourselves a nice cup of tea or coffee, depending on your preference. For me, it's actually coffee. We'll see you live for the MG Trophy Race 1 in about an hour. Thanks for watching.